Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Null Zone. I got something good lined up to show all of you fellow DZ grinders. I have the best free-to-play DZ route, guaranteed to net you 15 to 20% with a group of 4. Let me get the video rolling here. So this is not a solo route, unless you're pushing 800k plus, which generally isn't free-to-play. But even if you're not free-to-play, this is a short, mindless route with the right setup of 4 people. So you might be thinking, no, we've been grinding DZ for over a week now. Why are you just telling us about this now? Well, I wanted to get the facts straight, the percentage averaged, the routes and rotations optimized, so on and so forth. I don't want to look like a fool and feed you guys misinformation. Additionally, a lot of folks, including myself, had been assuming that the Dark Dimension Part 2 was dropping with the invasion, to help people level up to get to 110 and out of this DZ grind. Well, I thought about this, and it doesn't make sense. Thanos might be purple, but he's the wrong hue for Dark Dimension. I'm joking, that's a terrible joke. That's not my actual reason. What they want to do is they want to spread content out, and burst of content might be great for us top tier folks like you and me, but the average player is going to get overwhelmed and not really know what to do. So I think another metric is engaged screen time. I think that's what they use for their investors, right? And the DZ checks at engaged screen time. So with that, there's pretty much no chance that Dark Dimension Part 2 hits with the invasion. I think it'll be further down the line. Now, what I'm speculating is the Dark Dimension Part 2 hits before Magic, maybe even syncs up with Magic's release. Anyway, without further ado, let's break down this DZ farming route. So right here, this group in the lower right-hand quadrant, the south quadrant, I have it circled here. There's 4 groups that we're going to be farming. I usually start with that top left group of 3 on the little intro area. Transition to the large group of 6, hit the group of 3 up, the group of 3 up near the wall, and then the starting group, and just rinse and repeat with those 4 groups. Now, what you want to ideally do is rotate your ult and your debuffs on that large group. You want to be killing most of the enemies at almost the same time so it doesn't goof up their respawns. And you can cycle the groups between one and another as they're respawning. As you're walking over to the next group, you're going to see it respawn. And that's why you want to get all those deaths sunk up, because you don't want to be fighting a group of 2 and then an Ultron bot rolls in and you have to spend extra time on it. In this route, if you can really optimize it, if you make sure everyone's using their debuffs when they should, and you're rotating 1 ult per large group, I've net over 20% XP on this one route right here. Now I get it. This isn't exactly engaging or fun, but it's optimal, and we want to spend our time elsewhere in the game. So let's do this as optimal as possible, get in and out, get to 110, and we'll start crushing content like the invasion. So I'm going to break down my video in full screen. All right, so as you can see, I'm 26.27% at the 50 mark. And what you really want to do is we only have a group of 3. I net 16% 10 minutes in this run. So I'm going to start once we get to the next group here, and I'll break it down play by play. So first and foremost, you need to tag every single mob. You do not get XP for mobs you do not tag. You don't just get proximity XP like in other games like WoW. So you need to tag every mob. So right here, Redline went in a little early, not quite optimal. But what me and Taka do is we roll in there and we blow our big AoEs. I didn't have my debuff down, but Taka did. So you want to dodge into the center of the group and you want to spam all of your debuffs. Reduce their armor, reduce their HP. Doesn't really matter if you're reducing their attack. You essentially want them to be hit harder. So fire debuffs, defense debuffs, things like that. Get into the middle of the group. You hit all of them. So you're not only optimally tagging the mobs, so you don't have to try to individually click them, but you're debuffing them at the same time. So we're coming back around here. You're going to notice I throw my ult out. Look, Taka's right in the middle of the group. Boom. Reduces the defense on all of them. I ult most of them. Iron Man's ult's pretty funky like that. So you got to watch. Sometimes the mob will throw you walk through and you ult the opposite direction. So your mileage may vary with Iron Man ult. The Doctor Strange ult is clutch for this. It's one of the reasons why. If you have like 2 Stranges in here, 2 Iron Men, whew, you could do 20+% easily. So as you can see, I'm running a very strange and particular Iron Man build here. I'm running the cooldown reduction Jarvis. I'm running the Ion support. I'm running the debuff with micro missiles and anti-tank. I could be running the fire missile, but its cooldown is much higher. So, and I'm only going to be hitting 1 or 2 mobs, so it's not too much of a concern. But what you want to do for Iron Man is rotate between your AoEs, between every other group, and coordinate the ults and the debuffs with the big group. So again, telling Taka, I'm going into ult. She goes in there, does her AoE, does her debuff, and then that group is wiped out pretty fast. In this case, Strange should be running all of his short CDs like Dimensional Collapse and the one that bounces back, the 7 rings. So as you can see here, I don't have my ult up. Me and Taka both roll in. You got the AoE from Strange going in there. So it's not as optimal. As you can see, it's not as optimal. If you don't have an ult per wave, those large waves, you're losing out on some XP per 10 there. That's why I really am stressing coordinate with your group. Get in Discord. Or have a rotation down. You know, wave 1, Iron Man 1. Wave 2, Iron Man 2. Wave 3, Doctor Strange. Wave 4, Doctor Strange. Something like that. The more coordinated you are, the more XP you will gain. Right there, I was just showing people the stacks in the DZ do not matter because they give you supervillain damage, and these are considered regular villains. So getting stacks, like for instance, going and stacking for 10 or 20 minutes and then fighting these will have absolutely no effect, minus your boss killing and PvP ability. So don't go and stack. Not the most prime example of only ulting 2, but again, Taka's on point with the AoEs in there. And with that, just, you know, even half coordinated, this still makes it pretty easy and mindless. You don't have to stress too much about ultra optimization. You could do your worst in here with 4 people and still come out with 15% XP per 10 minutes, which is 90% in a run, right? Not quite a level per run. You got to do some more optimization to get that, but I've gotten up to 120% on one of my most optimized runs. Actually, it was my 109 to 110 run that I managed that. Well, it was 108, 80%. Math isn't my strong suit. So with that, I will let this play out so you can just see the different nuances farming this group. And I'll see you guys at the end of the video. Enjoy the music. All right, well, that is 15 minutes of the most optimal DZ route for free-to-play players right there. So I think you guys have had enough and get the idea. I will leave you with some notes in passing. You can put as much effort into this route as you want to, and you're going to get at least 15% XP per 10 minutes, putting in the most minimal amount with 3 to 4 players. That can go 20% skyward, depending on how coordinated and how strong your group is. So, if you guys have any different routes that you prefer, if you have more effective routes, whether it's for solos, groups, free to play, or pay to play players, let me know. I'll be sure to entertain those and review those, possibly on stream or in Discord. And yeah, hit me up in Discord regarding that stuff. And also, my new bug reports and suggestions forum. If you didn't see in my most recent announcement, I will be forwarding all relevant things directly to Netmarble. Whatever's posted in my forum, I'm going to package it up, put a bow on it, send it over to Netmarble. So, join me in Discord. Let's chat. And I will see you guys next time in the Null Zone. Take care.